Hello and welcome everybody to the SSRL Master Series live from Martinsville Speedway, presented by Chasity Realtor. 250 laps on the board here today from the paperclip. Going to bring a lot of attrition, probably a lot of chaos, and a lot of tempers with it. Sitting here in the booth tonight with my buddy Curtis White in Austin, Derbyshire. Curtis, how you feeling this evening, and what do you know about this speedway?
I know that it's a paperclip. It's about as small as one, and you said it's about 250 laps. Any race here that's 250 laps is going to feel like 25,000 with just how slow the pace can be, especially if cautions are going to be on the menu tonight, which hopefully not the case. We can get some actual racing tonight, but who knows?
Yeah, here's hoping for a good, clean race here. The SSRL series always bringing a lot of excitement and a lot of good quality, clean racing. But, you know, if there's one thing I've noticed throughout the years, man, Martinsville is that one place here in Bristol. They'll test you. Sitting here looking at the championship standings now. Joseph Causey with a slight lead over Justin Levine, second place. Chuck Van Shank up there in the third place. Followed by PB Henry, Johan Seminario running at your top five. All-star cast of drivers up here. Either way, with all that out of the way, we're going to pull up the starting grid for this evening's event. Starting on the pole is going to be... Hang on, I'm losing my mind over here. There we go. Starting on the pole is going to be Johan Seminario, followed by Keegan Sabila is outside. Third place, PB Henry with Pat Harvey starting P4. Fifth place is going to be Justin Levine with Chris Hudson in sixth. Seventh place, Kyle Westwood with eighth place starting off the grid. It's going to be Jose Medina. Ninth place is going to be Reese Schaefer, and Kevin Zosiak is going to be closing out your top 10.
And you got row 6, you got Dakota Jorgensen and Drew Prohl in the 08. You got Mark Sanchez, Wayne Bowen sharing a row together. You got Kyle Gerlach, David Salter in the 28. You got Evan Ethel, Charles Van Schaik in that 00. He's going to be one I'm looking out for. And then Lou Christian, Joseph Causey rounding out your top 20.
Get that straight there. All right, 21st, we're going to have Kaylin Mitchell with Sammy Harrell starting 22nd. 23rd is going to be Jordan Sailors, and rounding out the 24-car field is going to be Colby Jackson. Tell you what, man, one guy I'm going to be keeping my eyes on up here, though. I'm going to be keeping my eyes on good old Joseph Causey, starting a little bit further in the back of the pack tonight, 20th place. There's somebody I know of that'll bring the excitement working his way through the field. It's going to be that 88 machine. The way lights out on the pace car down the back straightaway for the final time to lead us on to the green. Pace car takes that quick left turn, hopefully missing the barrels, getting down pit road. Johan Seminario leading them to the field here. Flag is in the hand. Into the Geico restart zone, and the green flag is out here at Martinsville. Good start for Johan. Everybody's funneling through 1 and 2 side by side behind him. No real instance, no collision on lap 1. Everything looking clean through the first set of corners into turn 3. Let's see if they can keep it up. Look at that. First lap on the board clean. Johan Seminario leading PB Henry, who's working his way up to second position right now, getting clear of Keegan Sabilo. All single file up here in the top 5 now. Chris Hudson gets a little bit of a shot there. No, we got one around 3, 4, 2, 3 cars sideways. That's the Martinsville we know and love, guys.
Right on schedule.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know,
Wayne Bowen in the 78 car is one of them involved.
Here. I'm expecting a little bit of contact here. You see the 21 cue off for a dive. Oh, no, the 78 just gets into the back of the 08 machine and grabs the curb, and around he goes off the front bumper of the machine behind him. easy to get here and make mistakes. So easy to get greedy coming into the corners, thinking you can make it work. You get just, you know, a couple feet past, you get to that point of lockup, you get into the back end of somebody. They make it look so easy on Sundays, but here on iRacing, I feel like there's just that extra wall of difficulty, especially with the predictive, the net code, how hard the cars actually hit. The cars always feel a little more unstable under contact when somebody gets into you on here.
The prediction code definitely plays a factor into it. From what I notice in these races here, you're always kind of thinking about that in the back of your mind. It just close quarters, the way these cars kind of race around here, it's always going to be a challenge, and it's not for the faint of heart. That's for sure. Like, you're gonna have to have a lot of skill at navigating through traffic, but mainly you're gonna have to have a lot of patience. And this race particularly will test out everybody's patience tonight. It'll be testing ours too if this race goes the way we think it will.
I'm hoping they can pull the reins on it. I mean, we've only got one instance on the boards right now, so I'm hoping to stay a little optimistic. But man, I've been here a time or two at this point with this track and this service, and I'm just praying that we manage to keep it going clean.
Yeah, aren't we all?
So we're listening to Jose Medina right now, asking to be moved to the back of the pack right now, having issues with his VR set.
That's never
definitely want to get him moved to the back for the time being, because I can imagine going to the corners here at Martinsville with cars all around you and going blind for a couple of seconds. So Seminar up here at the point still. PB Henry up one spot to P2, starting on the outside. Going to see how big of a disadvantage the outside line is to restarts here tonight. No real massive movers right now, but I mean, we only had 3 laps. So Luke Christian up 8 spots from 19th to 11 at the moment. But lights are out on the pace cars. It makes a hard left-hand turn down pit road. Seminario trying to get a little bit of an advantage here over the 25 machine of PB Henry as he works his way out of turn 4. Working up to the Geico restart zone. Flag in hand. Green flag is in the air. Seminario, good launch. PB Henry, better launch there in second than what we saw in the last start. Everybody gonna get single file up here for the first 4 or 5 spots for the time being.
I think that's exactly what PB Henry needed. You're not going to get that great of a launch starting outside of the front row, but as long as you can beat the car in third and take away the line so you're not putting yourself in a vulnerable spot, you can just kind of take that away and just settle in. I think that's pretty much what he needed. Now he can just settle in for now.
Oh, yeah, that's all you want to do is just be able to get down there and cover that bottom line, because you know that's what the speed is going to be. We got one around the back, though, the 42 machine of Sammy Harrell. Happen here. 88 machine to his outside. Oh man, that just looked like brake lockup getting into 3.
That
was
a little, most certainly
a little bit of wheel hop. Get right on board for that. There we go. Look at that. Producer always 1 step ahead of the curve. Let's see. Yeah, right there, man. That little bit of chatter. That little bit of chatter in the back tires. You just got to be so precise. Now right there, that comes down to, it's not a downshift situation. That just comes down to having too much rear brake in it, I feel.
That, and it hurts, especially when you time your braking late and you're trying to compensate for it by not running into the back of the car in front of you. You add way more brake pressure than you normally would, and when you run a lot of rear brake here and end up doing that, that's the end result nearly every single time.
Yeah, it used to be like clockwork. Anytime we go to Richmond, Martinsville, or Phoenix, especially in the B car, way back in the day, we'd all run the brake bias as far to the back as you could possibly get it, because that's where the speed was, 2017, 2018, 2019 era. And the first lap, the first like 3 cautions would just be people coming into the corner, locking up those rear tires. and just looping it around, tank slapping into the wall. About the third caution, everybody in the field realized that that was a problem. They'd bring the brake forward a little bit till the tires heated up.
Yeah, it's never ideal, and it's why I always hate coming to Martinsville because I'm someone that always likes to run a lot of rear brake at every track I go to. So I always find myself in that exact same position that 42 car was just in. I've probably done it at least 4 times, at least to my memory. Way more than I'd like to admit.
I've done it a time or two here. You've added the turn 2 snap coming down the back straightaway. That one's always been pretty rough for me too. Especially when you start trying to diamond here, trying to find that extra speed that you're missing. It's never been a good place for me. I've gotten a couple wins here, but it's never been sustained success, I can tell you that.
It's hard to find speed here, and you're always working in such a tight box because of how close everyone is together, because a lot of times you are side by side with another car. You got another one right up your butt and right in front of you, so that's something these guys are having to think about.
And green flag is in the air. Johan Seminario with an incredible launch that time. PB Henry going to be able to slide back down. Mirror image of the last restart. One way up in the gray up there, about 4th or 5th place. It's not where you want to be. Here comes the 97 machine of Schaefer diving down to the inside of the 76 of Harvey. Good clean pass through 3 and 4. Harvey trying to work that outside line though. No option to get down there and clear the 43 machine. He's going to fall right back behind Hudson.
We got one on the curb and hopping. Spinning out of 4. They're all going to stack up.
Oh, no yellow. Still green. It's the 15 machine. That's suboptimal, but that's going to be a huge break for the cautions potentially, because that's a huge break up in the pack because everybody had to check up. Now everybody's forced to run single file. Right there, that looks a little bit like another rear brake situation you got in there. No, he got into the back of Westwood, and it just shot him down the track into the curbing. Good job for everybody else to just be heads up and avoid adding to an already bad situation. Oh, another one around the 55 machine. Jordan Sailors. Now that's a guy that's had a bad run of it these past 2 races. Rough night last night in the trucks. And it's just repeating itself here at Martinsville. See what happens here. We can get an eye on this machine.
There's nobody near me. He just loses.
There it is. There's that snap coming out of 4. That shows you just how close to the ragged edge these guys are this week. Luckily, no damage. Toe links look like they're all straight. Car looks good. Just gotta be grateful we went to the plastic bodies.
I don't think that was the sea he wanted to be sailing on right there.
Absolutely.
There, I got my 1 in for the race.
There we go. You can get some more in. We got plenty of time. 20 laps knocked off the board out of 250. Stage caution coming at lap 100. Johan trying to beat the pace car here.
Now, with the way this race plays out as it is right now with the cautions, if you're someone up at the front, I just came into the last second. I don't know what the tire life is for these cars. I don't know how much fuel they can go to. Is there any point in this race where these guys are going to have to think about pitting?
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to come down at some point. Probably after the if I was up here at the front of this thing, I wouldn't be even looking at pit road. I forget. I deleted that even exists from my memory.
Yeah, we usually expect 2 pits.
Yeah,
and with this being such a track position game,
with it being Martinsville, since we're only getting like, 3-4 lap stints on the tires, honestly, the way fuel mileage stacks out for this place, I'd really only be thinking about pitting one time, potentially, because you're going to be saving so much under yellow. And those tires, the tire is not worth the loss of track position. Not here, because once you get mired back around, 10th and beyond, you're stuck in the sucker hole. There's going to be a lot of chaos and calamity. You're just going to keep it up there at the front. Did you see the pace car dive down? Once again here. Johan leading the field into 3 and 4. PB Henry on the outside. Flag's in the hand again. The green flag is out. Johan, another great launch. PB Henry, is he going to be able to clear? Yes, he is coming into turn number 1.
And Justin Levine in the 1 car almost got the outside maneuver for 3rd. Didn't quite get it though. The 77 was kind of a little late on the start, but worked out in his favor. He was able to hold on to 3rd. They're about side by side for 10th. That Westwood in the 92.
Yep, that's Westwood in the 92 up there on the outside. Causey
gets around him out of 2.
Bottom line dominance so far. PB Henry doing a good job getting to the back
Oh,
bumper.
spin out of
we got
4.
one around. Oh, synchronized. Let's see what happened here. 75 machine gets a shot from the 15, and around he goes. And 78 just trying to avoid it. Gets himself a little squirrely. And on board. And it's just one of those moments where if you're the 15, you got to think about just backing it down. You see them side by side in front of you. You don't want to really go out there and aggregate that situation too much. Not that late in the corner, anyway. He's on board a Bowen. Looks like he just gets run over from behind by the 28 machine as he was checking up for the incident. Johan up there at the point, lobbying to have the race just cut in half. So, interesting call there. These guys, they can run clean 365 days a year, but you come to Martinsville and it's so difficult. What would be the lightest touch, something that these guys on Sunday wouldn't even recognize having happened, is just enough to completely jack the car in front of you, completely out of the way, and knock them sideways. And it's just the problem that you have, trying to provide this kind of service through online. I've yet to see, in all my years, I don't know about you, Chris, but I've yet to see in all my years of sim racing I've yet to see for there to be a game that gets contact right, and it's just because of the difficulty of online.
No, it's net code, prediction code. That's always going to be a factor, and especially when they release new content. When they released the ARCA car last week, they got the prediction code for that car completely wrong.
Oh yeah.
Like, just slight wall contact, and if you had a car anywhere near you, they were dead instantly. I experienced that firsthand. So, thankfully, these guys are to be grateful they're not in the ARCA car right now.
Absolutely, but pace car down, flag in hand again. Johan Seminario leading him into the box, and a good launch again. But difficulties for PB Henry. Not as good of a start, but still just barely able to clear into turn number 1. Levine working that outside line, trying to find something to get by Keegan Sabilo, but Sabilo going to pull up in front, clear him down the back straightaway.
That 1 car
Clean
way
so
out of the
front. Oh, what around the 8
groove.
machine sideways on the front straightaway, hard contacting the inside wall. Dakota Jorgensen. You got a shot from... I see a potential common denominator here. Oh no, 67 gets into the back of him.
So you thought.
I didn't know that Teresa Earnhardt was hiring hitmen.
Think she's having regrets giving up the 8?
No,
And she wants it
definitely
back?
second thoughts. Definitely second thoughts, brother. No. Does the heart good to see that number back on the track again, though.
Absolutely is.
And now it's off track. But you can see it on Saturday. Driven by everybody's favorite Xfinity driver. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the one car that's really enjoying this race so far is Seminario, because he's not having to do a whole lot. His whole focus right now is just getting the restarts right, and he's nailed every single one of them so far, where he hasn't been in any sort of jeopardy of losing the lead. And as long as he keeps doing that, he's in good shape.
I mean, here at Martinsville, you have a 5-lap advantage if you start at the front, if you start on the pole. At least I've noticed throughout the years I've been here. I've had some... I'm one of the worst when it comes around this place, but there have been times where I've just fluked my way into the lead through pit strategy or whatever, the occasional pole. And all you have to worry about is restarts. If you don't have the car, but you're still up there at the front, you're good for 5 laps. This is going to take them that long to get back to your rear bumper just to be able to get to you to move you. Unless they're just absolutely sending you off into space, which could happen, but I doubt that up here at the front. A lot of respect among these drivers. But for Johan, all you gotta do is just hit the gas and get into turn number 1 and you're good to go. 'Cause they're probably gonna wreck before you get out of 2. But lights top of the iRacing pace car out as we work our way down the back straightaway. Everybody's side by side coming into turn number 3. PB Henry up there on the top. Is he going to be able to get the jump this time? Likely not. Johan starting to inch just a little bit further ahead of Sabilo as we come into the Geico restart zone. The green flag in hand, in the air. Another great launch for the 56 machine into turn number 1. Here comes Henry to take the bottom from the 77. Everybody single file out here again in the top 5. 43 machine of Hudson trying to make a charge on the outside of Levine, but not able to get it done. Levine's going to take the spot. Oh, the 48 machine gets moved way up the track out of 3 and 4. Here we are looking side by side again. Westwood to the inside of the 67 machine of Mitchell. Turn 3, a little bit of a pinch from Mitchell. But not going to be able to contest with it. No, fighting back strong on the outside line. Is that going to be the first clear from the outside we've seen so far? Westwood charging back again on the inside of turn number 2.
He's definitely keeping Westwood honest right there. Really good exit through 4 that time. If you can just do that one more time, unless Westwood can really hook the bottom, he might be able to make it work.
And
he
there
does.
we go.
Cuts down, takes it.
Yeah, Mitchell moving up into the top 10 here. And then right there, we know the bottom line is so dominant, but when you get somebody up there on your outside, and if you're not, aggressive enough to really get up into the door of the car coming out of the corner, you're basically stuck there until they clear you. And, we see Westwood doing a great job making sure everybody has room, but in the process, shooting himself in the foot a little bit. See the 15 machine go around the outside.
Yeah, right now it just seems like Westwood's car is having a little bit of a tougher time holding down the inside line as everybody behind him is just ganging up on him, running the top lane. and making it work. We saw Mitchell do it. Now we're seeing the 15 car next up in line, but he gets a little too far wide out of the concrete, and he's going to lose that opportunity. And now he is in the danger zone, getting passed by the 08 machine on the inside.
That's an easy mistake to make, getting up on there on the outside, get up into the grade just a little bit, and away go the front tires. 15 doing a good job getting it back down the track, though, holding off. Johan not really able to pull too much of an advantage over PB Henry in second. I'm seeing a tail of two lines there, too. You see Henry kind of going for the diamond. Johan just trying to plant it all the way down next to the curbing. Oh, Henry gonna catch the fence a little bit out of forward, though.
Give it all she's got right now, because this is the longest green flag run we've had so far, knock on wood. That's exactly what PB Henry is probably wanted. Probably thinking his car is able to contend for the lead, maybe be able to get up there and pass him. He's able to close in. Now he's trying to go for a diamond approach. Didn't really help him there. Maybe he just got a little tight as he loses about a tenth or so out of two. But he's just kind of playing around with him a little bit right now, just trying to get settled in. Because, again, like I said, this is the longest green flag run we've had tonight, and maybe we can have some more like this. And this isn't the end of that, maybe, but right now just trying to get a feel for his car right now, see if he has any sort of attack for the 56. But right now, just not really a whole lot he can do right now. That 56 is just on a rail right now.
And the diamond approach, it's a great way to attack the corner. But I've always found it to only be useful in the short run. It really shaves off that right front tire incredibly quick and hurts you so fast on a long haul. And you're seeing little bits of that right now as you see Seminario just starting to kind of smoke screen him and pull off to 7/10 of a second advantage.
As Seminario is saying sayonara. That's what he's saying to PB Henry in second.
Sabilo's starting to close in slowly here. We are looking at Justin Levine. That's the boss man right there in the one machine. Good run for him, sitting in the top 5. All 4 fenders on the Toyota. Bunch of teammates all tucked up under each other there.
In case anyone was wondering, no, this is not a Home Depot catalog. There's just a lot of cars that are sponsored by tool brands.
I will say the DeWalt scheme looks awful good to me. I've used a lot of their tools throughout the years. Yep, Mac Tools, DeWalt, Craftsman, Stanley, all working under the same banner. Which is why we get so many cool JGR paint schemes throughout the year. You see Sabilo taking the fight to the back of Levine taking the fight to the back of Schaefer. Getting a good dive down here to 3 and 4. Schaefer going to stay up high. Let him go.
There's a classic move.
It still happens. So, and we got a caution. Oh, not Sailors.
Crashed onto shore.
It's a huge shot from the double zero machine. Oh, he just drove right through him.
And the stack up that ensued out of 2. But great timing by Justin Levine to get around Schaefer at the time that he did. I was worried that he almost screwed it up, because he did hop the curb and lit up the brakes quite a bit. He looked like he bit off more than he could chew, but he made the pass work, and great timing for him as the caution came out. Take back 4th.
It sure has been chaotic to start this thing out. Just past halfway to the first stage. Got a good green flag run there. Let's hope we end up with a situation where cooler heads start to prevail a little bit longer and less cautions breed cautions. Are these guys going to take it down pit road? Can't imagine it this early. Nope. Johan said no, but I'm sure there's going to be a couple guys in the back that are going to try and go against the grain here.
There might be. And if I was someone at the back of the pack, wouldn't hurt.
Oh, yeah,
Take some fresh tires, fix the car a little bit, make some adjustments to it. You're already back there anyway, might as well.
Yeah, if you're 10th place on back, you got to be thinking contrarian here. Because you know at some point, the rest of these guys are going to come down pit road. Tires aren't as important here at these short tracks as they are at other tracks, as this tire is pretty much invincible. Just bring her down, throw in 4 tires, get some Sunoco in it, and try to drive yourself through the pack. Wait for these guys in front of you to come down pit road. Maybe take 2 tires when they come down, or stay out. And put yourself in position to potentially walk home with a top 5, or maybe even a win. Watch Johan trying to clean the marbles off the tires right now. Lights out on the iRacing pace car as we get ready to charge into turn number 3 here. Pace car making the deep descent down pit road again. Johan Seminario, PB Henry, the two that have kept this podium on lock so far all night, into the Geico restart zone. Johan gets another tremendous start. 25 machine and PB Henry going to come down and clear Sabilo coming into turn number 1. And here comes Levine charging hard on the outside line, trying to get past the 77 machine. Not able to get the momentum, but he is going to get clear of Schaefer.
A little door contact for 6 as they exited turn 4. The DeWalt car was on the outside end of that one.
Causey, not one you really want to muscle around here on these short tracks. One of the nicest guys you meet, but you rub him the wrong way, he'll give it right back to you tenfold.
Meanwhile, PB Henry playing defense as Sabilo was peaking both times those last 2 laps into turn 3. Just getting his nose under the inside. And Henry had to block it both times. Can we go for 3 here? Maybe third time the charm for Sabilo?
Sabilo dives down to the bottom into turn number 3, not able to make anything connect, though.
Yeah, just not close enough, but keeping him thinking. You see, Henry, he's been covering it off each time. Even if Sabilo wasn't close enough, he's getting him thinking. And now Henry having to play defense this time.
Oh, one on the wall, the 42 and the 08.
Right up next to our camera. Drew Prohl.
Yeah, Drew Prohl ran so great last night. Probably wishing he was still at Homestead. He goes try to dive down to the bottom of the 42 machine, gets back in line, and I just think misses the braking point and completely clears out the 42 machine.
We got some takers on pit road. The 1 car leading them down. 1 to 97. Might be just a party of 2 from the looks of it. And yeah, that was I mean, it looked like he tried to fake him out and then try to get back in line, but he did it so late that he ended up missing his braking point.
That is about as hard as you can hit tier 2. Oh, Martinsville, man. The chat, no, this is not Fox. We take significantly less commercial breaks, and we typically have the cameras point at the cars and not the fans in the grandstands. Oh, let's see the fans in the grandstands, Darby. Yeah, we want a fan cam. Let's see the kids in the audience. Maybe got a camera on the hot dog stand. That'd be pretty interesting. Lights out on the iRacing pace cars. They work their way down the back straightaway. Like that's the sentence of the evening here. Seminario leading him down into turn number 3. E.B. Henry to the outside still. Into the Geico restart zone, and the green flag is out. Johan Seminario gets the jump. E.B. Henry, not as good of a launch as he wanted. For the first time tonight, he's coming under fire from the 77 machine. Sabilo coming into turn number 1, and I think Sabilo's going to take it down the back straightaway. Yes, he will.
Easily. E.B. just got way too high out of 2. Gives up the second spot. And now we see the 77 of Sabilo up to the plate. What does he have for our leader?
Looks like he's got something as he hounds to the back bumper of Johan Seminario down the back straightaway, charging deep into turn number 3. Going for a bit of a higher entry, maybe trying to get an arc to get the momentum off the corner. Draws him right back up to the back bumper of the 56 machine. A little bit further in the back, we got Joseph Causey down to the inside of the 21 machine of Christian. This is the battle for 5th place, or 4th place. And Causey with a good run on the back straightaway. We have a little bit of door contact into turn number 3. It's going to push Christian up the track. So we give the spot to Causey with ease. Westwood just about gets into the back bumper of Mitchell into turn number 1. Thinks better of it, though.
Keep an eye on the 1 of Levine and the 97 of Schaefer. Those are the top 2 cars that came down pit road. They took 4 tires. And, you know, we talk about how much of an effect does tires really have on a short track versus track position. We're about to find out here on this run, as both those cars already seem to be moving forward under the green flag stint. They pick off another car to get around the 67 of Mitchell, so they're making pretty good progress so far on those 4 tires.
Yeah,
They're both back in the top 10.
Levine back up to 8th place with Schaefer directly in tow in 9th as they work their way into turns number 3 and 4. Johan Seminari in the lead, but a caution comes out again.
That Sailors again?
Yeah, looks like Sailors.
Him and Van Schaik get into it again? Oh, he just...
No, he just got that loose, that snap. Oh. Hey. He could have put the pedal back to her there, I do think, but...
Yeah, but his arm was probably itching.
Yeah, it's getting hot in there. Sue comes down pit road now. Because they could tell that Levine and Schaefer found some magic sauce there coming down pit road and taking those 4 tires. And the stage will be ending in 25 laps here. Stage caution coming out on lap 100. Or the completion of, rather.
Johan Seminario was riding the curve through 1 and 2 under yellow just to keep himself a little bit entertained. Under the Parade 250.
There's a little more than just to keep yourself entertained with that. That was Was the qualifying cheese here for about a year with the tires. I think iRacing got rid of that, but you know, just like that, when you wanted the tires to be hot, a few years before that, when you wanted them to be cold, we'd all cut through the grass under caution. Try and cool those things off and fire them back up on the track, warm them up, try to get the, or dust them off. Try and get the marbles off it. Basically, watch everything go full circle on here on iRacing if you've been around long enough. Pace car making the dive back down, though. Johan leading him into turn number 3. Working their way into the Geico restart zone for another time here. Johan with a good launch. PB Henry using that third place position to get a good launch as well. We put him side by side with Sabilo into turn number 1. He's going to be able to get him back. And we got another wreck. Oh, upside down and over the 78 machine. Let's see what happens here. Initial wreck started a little bit ahead of these guys. Right there, the 29 machine gets shot by the 55 of Sailors and upside down over. It's the first time I've seen a car flip at Martinsville. On board with Bowen here. Oh, I hope this is the gyro camera. Nope. No gyro.
Yeah. I don't know if
flip.
I want the gyro. That'll probably make me a little bit dizzy, but that was a pretty tame flip, albeit a surprising flip.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, my favorite. It's my favorite part. Oh, no. Oh, man. Look at this. Hold on to your lunch, kids. It just looks like shoes in the washing machine every time. It's the small things that amuse me up here. And with that incident, the 55 machine of Sailors will be parking it behind the wall for the evening. Unfortunate break, but come back stronger next week. Johan leading him here. It's the lights go out of the iRacing pace car again. .81 laps on the board, a 20 lap or a 19 lap dash here to the end of stage 1. They work their way down the back straightaway. Pace car diving back down pit road. Johan warming up the tires there on the inside, make sure all the marbles are clean. Turn number 3, side by side with Sabilo. Into the Geico restart zone. Flag is out, and the green flag is in the air. Good launch. A little bit of a bottleneck there for Sabilo. Almost got taken 3 wide by the 21 machine of Christian.
You know, Sabilo, he just hasn't had that experience restarting on the outside. He has basically been playing, you know, that bottom lane where Henry has been all race
Henry
long.
gets up to the quarter panel. A little bit of contact, but Henry rolls out of it.
An opportunity to get him back.
Henry charging through 1 and 2 down to the inside. Almost had him clear right before the caution came out last time. Not able to get it done here into 3 and 4 though. Spiel really using that outside line to his advantage. Henry diving it down in 1, but Sabilo going to dive in a little bit deeper. But Sabilo washes up the track a little bit, crosses the lane. They're going to be dead even down the back straightaway this time. And the 3 still side by side. PB Henry to the inside of Keegan Sabilo down the front stretch. Not much change here. Really what you're doing if you're... Oh, Sabilo gets him pinched, and Sabilo gets a good launch down the back straight. That's going to clear him up into 3.
The outside lane showing its strength. Sabila was able to make it work, and I was about to say, while those two are arm wrestling, keep an eye on that 88 of Joseph Causey. He has been navigating through the rainforest, was basically started deep in the mutt, back of the pack, along with him in the 21. Both the hardest chargers of this race, up in the top 5. And, you know, they're not done yet.
And look who's working on the outside right behind him.
On fresh tires, that one car, Justin Levine.
Justin Levine now to the outside of the 21 machine of Christian. A little bit of contact. Levine going to pull away with that outside line momentum. Move him up into P5. Right now what you're seeing out of PB Henry is that struggle. We were talking about that different line he was using, the diamond that he was using through 1 and 2. Kind of coming back to haunt him now as he gets a little bit of contact from Causey. Does he save it? Yes, Causey straightens him back out. That opens the door for Levine. Levine's going to just shotgun, and PB Henry's going to lose a handful of spots here as Christian goes to the inside. And right behind him is Schaefer on 4 fresh tires.
I'm gonna lose another spot at 97 of Schaefer. Like you said, on fresh tires along with the 21 of Luke Christian. Up into the top 5. And I mentioned patience at the start of the hour. I think that 88 decided he had enough patience with the amount of work he had to do to get up to where he is. And, you know, with him in the 25 of Henry, they were losing ground to Sabilo, and he had to take care of him as quickly as he could. And, you know, it wasn't the prettiest, but gets him up to 3rd now.
Yeah, when you look behind you, too, and you see 2 or 3 guys on fresh tires, and you know you're the odd man out on that one, you know you got to...
go time.
Yeah, it's go time. You got to get the bumper to the guy in front of you. You know, ask for forgiveness later. But you see Schaefer now taking the fight to the inside here on Luke Christian. And he's going to charge deep into turn 3. And he's going to get him. And Schaefer's somebody that you really want to keep your eyes on, too, because he's real scrappy on these short tracks. I remember my first race up here in the booth for this series was Bristol, and Schaefer put on a clinic. Went to the back from front to back to front multiple times in that race to be able to score the victory. And if memory serves, his first start in the series. And Darby told me that at least one part of that was false, but I remember the front to back part, so. Well, what race was it, Darby? Fifth or fourth? We're close enough. Horseshoes and hand grenades, man. Come on. Throw me a bone. Gotta build that drama.
It's the battle of the toolboxes. Joseph Causey and Justin Levine, 3rd place. Up for grabs.
And these two will use each other up every which way and laugh about it while they're doing it, too. Really strong friends, Joseph Causey and Justin Levine. And both absolute wild card characters, too. Look through the field, everything kind of strung out here at the back. There's the 8 machine of Jorgensen trying to recover after the wreck he got caught up in earlier. No, really, we could just copy-paste that memo to everybody that's back here right now, because a handful of these cars have been in something scary. Got the 29 machine of Sanchez. The old Marble Menthol machine directly on his rear bumper. 48 of Medina.
And I believe this is the end of the stage.
Yes, it is. I hope. Gosh, now for the stage, Johan Seminario, Keegan Sabilo, Joseph Causey, Justin Levine, Robert Schaefer, Lou Christian, PB Henry, and Hudson. Top 8 on that deal with Harvey and Westwood running at the top 10. And with stage wrapping up here, we're going to send it to a quick commercial break and word from our sponsors.
You want to be the best, you can't settle for the rest. For anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need, Makoni.
With the launch of Makoni Entertainment and Makoni Competizone alongside Makoni Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at MakoniSetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Makoni Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
And welcome back, everybody, to the SSRL Masters. Oh, whoops. Welcome back, everybody, to the SSRL Masters Series presented by Chasity Tucker Realtor. Live from Martinsville for, it's been a little bit of a caution fest, but, you know, we just wrapped up stage 1, hoping that everything will be a little bit cleaner here as we go through. Sitting up here in the booth with my buddy Curtis White. And lights are out on the iRacing pace cars. We work our way down the back straightaway again. It's been the buzzword of the night. But a little bit of a shake-up here under the caution. Keegan Sabilo takes the lead on pit road from Johan Seminario. Justin Levine up to 3rd, and Robert Schaefer sitting up there in 4th position. Things moving around here. Green flag is in the air. Sabilo with a decent launch, but not enough to keep Sabilo completely at base. Sabilo gets the bumper to the back of the 77 machine. Or Seminario gets the bumper to the back of the 77 machine in 1 and 2, but everything stays clear down the backstretch.
He's going to give the leader the bumper out of turn 2. This is the first time we've seen Seminario challenged, and he's in the wall.
Levine into the back. Seminario hard contact with the outside fence.
He's got heavy front end damage on that car.
Oh, that looks like a toe link.
Oh, man. And in the back end, damage to the dominant car of the day, led just about every single lap in this race. That might have been all she wrote for him.
Gets into the back bumper of the 77. Levine tries to get down to the bottom, gets into the quarter pound a little bit. Just a miscalculation there, and it sends the 56 hard into the outside fence. That opens the door for Sabilo to walk away to a nice advantage, 1.5 seconds over second place Justin Levine. It looks like a little bit of damage to the right side of the 97 machine of Schaefer, too. See that splitter lifted up a little bit.
Might have been a little bit of collateral from that exchange, but still running strong in 3rd place.
Yeah, it's good. That's a fair amount of damage there. don't think he's going to have the fortune that Junior had that year that was missing the whole right front fender. So I don't think iRacing clogs the aero that well. Now you see Sabilo struggling with the handle on that machine. Heavy lockup into 3. Saw the puff of smoke. Sorry, I meant to say Seminario. I'm in La La Land over here, man.
Oh, discombobulated tonight. Martinsville does that.
Seminario gets real loose out of turn number 4. Gonna lose a spot here. No, he's gonna try and fight back with the 75 machine. That thing's hurt though. You can see it. But
Just
he's
trying
gonna
to
get
stop
the
the
spot.
bleeding.
Seminario clears Gerlach to get up to the 11th position, leading Joseph Causey with him. Causey down to the bottom. Causey going to get clear on the back straightaway and pull up and take his position. Handful of cars going to get by him here. Pretty stagnant up here at the front of the pack right now. A little bit further back. Everybody's just got, real separated there, single file, but here we go. The 00 machine diving down to the inside. That's Shake. The inside of Prohl in the 08. It's the battle for 9th.
A good pass from the inside makes it work. Prohl didn't put up too much of a fight. Just lets him go. He's just trying to manage his own race right now. It's 00 up in the 9th place now. And, it's never over till it's over. I mean, that 00 hasn't really had the cleanest of races. He's been one of the cars we've seen sideways at least twice in this race already. He's already up in the 9th place, so... And that, that could be a shining light for just about anybody else in this race. I mean, even Prohl has been sideways a couple of moments in this race. We saw him parked up against the wall. He's in the top 10 right now. Just about everybody in this race that's gone through any sort of... hardship, and this even goes for Seminario. Just stay in it. It's you're never out of it.
No, that's the thing about Martinsville. We get so many cautions, so many opportunities to restart your race from the ground up. Just about anything can happen. It's right up there at the super speedways. Never pull it down pit road and call it a day until you know it's done. Levine, though, starting to draw a bead on Keegan Sabilo up there at the point. Now pulling him down to 0.7 of a second. That's what's separating your front 2 cars.
Right now, that one car is tracking to be a little bit quicker a lap than the 77. He's closed it down to about a 10th. He might close it down another 10th this lap as he's under 0.7 this time by. As you can see, he ran a faster lap the last lap. So if he keeps up this pace, he could be able to run him down. But, with just how tight of a racetrack Martinsville is, it's one thing to catch a car. It's a whole nother deal to pass him.
What you're seeing here is Levine is just doing such a great job being able to attack and rotate that car through center. It's where most people lose so much time here, is that transfer between center and center exit. Levine just flawless right down there, just about a hair off of the curbing through the corner. Holding it steady, and that's what it takes to get the job done here at Martinsville. Hey, breaking news. 125 laps on the board. It's going to put us at halfway. Now down to just over 0.3 of a second as he works his way into turn number 1, all over the back bumper of the 77 machine of Sabilo. Stevie
I'm sure
Henry
you
hold on
folks at home,
strong in third.
I'm sure you folks could tell just how excited we were about the halfway point in this race.
Wish I
Some
had an
good
air horn
battles
right
going
about
on.
now.
I thought I saw the 00 get into the wall a little bit. He was able to get it back going. He only lost one spot to Clausy in the 88 and goes up to 9th. They had a little bit of a close call, but, you know, nothing to warrant any sort of panic as, you know, they're still going.
Yeah, this right here, this is the point where the racing gets best here at Martinsville. Get some long green flag laps in, really get a chance to see who's got that long run pace. Guys realize that they've made a lot of mistakes early in this thing. As you see right now, the 21 machine diving down to the inside of the 00 Van Shake. Christian's going to get the spot. Nice clean pass. But it's shaking up here at the front now. A 10.5 separating your race leaders. Levine is all over him here as they work their way down the back straightaway, up to the back bumper into turn number 3. Sabilo going to get a little bit of a draw this time, but Levine going to fight back with that corner exit charge. You've seen him use the bumper once already. Is he going to use it again on the 77? Levine is just so good through 1 and 2. Not quite the pace in 3 and 4, but 1 and 2, he is hounding them.
Right now, that one car is just searching around the track, trying to build up runs to set up a clean pass on him because he doesn't want to, you know, immediately just go to the bumper and use that to pass him. He's going to try to look around a little bit, maybe use an upcoming lap car as a pick and try to set him up that way, but
as they work
unless he's Papa Roach,
machine.
unless he's Papa Roach, that bumper might be the last resort.
It might be.
I'll let myself out for that one.
Here we go. Here's Sabilo diving to the inside of the 28 machine to put him a lap down. A little bit of a wiggle out of the 77 machine out of turn number 4, but Levine matches it. No advantage here. Here comes Levine, sending it deep into turn number 3. And just what you're seeing, man, is what I keep talking about. The way that he's able to hook that inside line. Making all the same pace that the 77 machine is making, but doing so while using less tire.
He's just being patient right now. He knows he has a very fast car. It ran him down from a second back. He's just kind of playing his cards right, just taking his time. You know, every now and then we'll see him kind of exit a little low. That's just basically him peeking his head through the door. Just having a little look-see, you know? He's just looking to see what's out there and seeing if he wants to barge in or not. But, I mean, right now, these last couple of laps, I think the 77, you know, he's holding his own right now. He might be starting to itch a little bit ahead, but the one car closes him back down as I say that, so never mind. As that gap is continuing to kind of fluctuate right now, the one car almost lost him, but he reeled him back in pretty quickly as he's just, like I said earlier, still trying to play around.
Here we go. Here comes the bumper. Almost. Levine right within a stone's throw now. The 77 machine is Sabilo. What's he going to do coming into turn number 3? Set up for a nice arc into the corner. Get right down there against the curb. Scrapes the curb a little bit and causes the car to slide out from him a little bit. Does a good job to recover, though.
And Sabilo just kind of used the middle line to build up momentum, to build that gap back up. He's built it back up to about a half second. And that's kind of a playing with fire situation at Martinsville. When you open up the bottom like that to, you know, get the exit that you want, because that basically puts you in a vulnerable position for the inside car to basically door you out of the corner. But
good news, though, for Sabilo. There's a reason these two got matching paint schemes out here, and hopefully everything will be everything's gonna be all right between the two of them. Levine not gonna, you know, be unfair. Not this early in the race. Okay, sorry. One of them has a red hood and the other one has a black hood. So inverse.
So what's
Same, but different.
What basically happened, folks, is that the 77 hacked into the mainframe. He changed his paint scheme on the fly to match the car that was faster than him, and he found a few extra horsepower to pull away.
And you guys say those stickers don't do anything for you. I'll go back to my paint booth, all right? Sabilo setting down fast times now, pulling away the advantage on Justin Levine. Look through the field, everything's looking pretty calm throughout the pack. Just the conveyor belt of single file racing right now. We're 44 laps on the board right now. Nice and calm. I don't know if I don't even know. I don't think these guys are going to come back down pit road to top off. I don't know what the fuel mileage is here at Martinsville these days, but I know it's pretty crazy. Producer's saying that I'm absolutely stupid and have no idea what I'm talking about. And, I can agree with him on that. Oh, they run reduced fuel. Okay, got it.
My answer? I don't know. I just got here.
I just work here. I'm wondering, though, if Levine isn't just tapering back, trying to bring some temperatures down on those tires, lower the pressures a little bit so he can make another swipe here before we get to the end. When we get to the end of this thing.
He might be. I mean, he put his car to work trying to run the leader down because he was about a second behind. You know, he closed them in at a rapid pace, so I wouldn't be surprised if he put his tires through the ringer those last few laps and just given them the opportunity to cool down. And
here he is again, back to the back bumper, and here he comes with a swipe almost into turn number 1. Hounding him now, lap traffic in the way. Possibly hurting some of the aero effects on that 77 machine too. And we don't talk about it too much here at the short tracks, but it's still very much a factor, albeit, you know, minimalized for the amount of halves. But here he comes to the top, trying to build a run, maybe use that lap car as a pick. Levine crossing over, trying to get the power down the back straightaway. Not able to find it this go around though. Let's try again. Staying to the bottom now. Sabilo gets to the back bumper of the 48 machine of Hudson. Or sorry, Medina. Medina going to get out of the way, keep it clean, let these leaders fight for it. Big respect. But Levine is there. He's within striking range now. Levine sending it deep into turn number 1 again, looking to the outside, trying that same run that he pulled earlier. Trying to find that extra bit of momentum to pull him to him in the corner, and here he comes with a dive bomb into turn number 3. Sabilo stuck up on the outside, picked behind a lap car. 75 of Gerlach, and Sabilo catches the wall coming to the start-finish line, and here comes Levine with a deep dive into turn number 1 on the bottom. Going 3 wide with a lap car.
He had no choice. He had to go middle. Otherwise, he was going to be completely trapped, but nonetheless, Justin Levine was able to clear him for the lead that time by.
New race leader, Justin Levine in the number 1 Mac Tools machine. Lap 153 now. Just under 100 laps to go. Wait a minute.
Waiting.
Said just short of 100 laps to go.
Oh my goodness.
I found one, Darby. Justin Levine at the point. Building that gap now up to 0.4 of a second. I think Sabilo's used up his stuff here. Maybe Henry doing a good job staying in the fight with Schaefer hounding him as they work their way through the lap traffic. And Sabilo has taken it behind the wall. After Seminario is taking it behind the wall. After an unfortunate end to his dominating performance Starting this thing out. Luckily for him, though, he does get the stage points. He gets to keep those and walk away with them, so it'll be a huge benefit for him in the championship chase.
Reese Schaefer, this 97 car, despite the front end damage on that right front fender, he's been able to keep on his toes here to keep up with PB Henry, and he's been putting up a pretty good challenge for this third position at the moment.
Yeah, Reese is scrappy, man. He won't give up until this thing's over. Guy is always on charge from start to finish.
And you got Pat Harvey, this 76 car. We haven't really talked about a whole lot, running in the top 5.
Probably the brightest car on track, too.
It's very vibrant, that's for sure.
Very much so.
And we got a yellow.
Teal. We got a yellow. Caution out on the Speedway. Not sure from where at the moment. 42 machine on pit road.
See some smoke in turn 4, but I can't figure out where it was from.
It was Harrell. And he's had a pretty unfortunate night all by himself here. It's going to be lockup or curb. That's going to be wheel spin on corner exit. Glued it up to that inside wall.
And it's the most laps that those tires have endured in a green flag run all race long. Just lit them up a little too much out of 4, and there it goes.
It's so easy when you get locked into the rhythm here too. Just make that one little mistake.
Too much gas plus too much wheel equals a bad time. Meanwhile, that guy's getting a hot dog.
Yeah, if you pizza when you're supposed to French fry, you're gonna have a bad time. Justin Levine winning the race off pit road over Keegan Sabilo and Reese Schaefer. Bringing out third, getting past PB Henry. Pat Harvey still going to keep that 5th place position. Here comes Luke Christian bringing out pit road in 6th, followed by Van Shake, 7th, and Joseph Causey. Back up to 8th position with Zodiac in 9th, and 10th is going to be Mitchell. Now Levine's up here in the catbird seat. We've seen just how important that front row, or that front position is here on these restarts. You get such a huge advantage going into turn 1 where everybody else is behind you fighting it out. Gives you an opportunity to really stretch those legs a little bit and run with it. And by the time they get to you, if they ever do get to you, it's just such a challenge to actually be able to get by somebody without knocking them out of the way.
Yeah, for sure. Always a challenge this place can be. You know, that's why they have the, what is it, the 3 bump rule?
Oh, yeah. Although not many people in iRacing go for the 3 bump, they just go for the 1 bump. The pace car dives in. Justin Levine now in control of the race. Works his way through turns 3 and 4 here on lap 163. Flag is in the air into the Geico restart zone, and we are back underway.
It's an all Mac Tools front row. Justin Levine got a really good restart on the 77, who's kind of had a hard time with the outside, but...
Oh, but here comes Schaefer with a dive to the bottom.
Gonna make it 2 for 1.
Is he gonna be able to get by Levine? Levine gonna fight back hard on the outside. Schaefer not wanting to use up his buddy like that. Gonna give him a little bit of leeway, and that's gonna put Levine back into the position, but Schaefer up to P2, and Levine, huge lockup into turn number 1. Still in charge of the field, though, the 1 machine of Justin Levine. They're 3 and 4. Schaefer looking, trying to find that extra little bit of sauce. Not able to get it right now, though. And just like that, everybody single filed out.
Just give it some time. These guys are going to get a little impatient because this race has gone on long enough that these guys are going to, you know, they're going to get in a hurry, try to make passes that they think they can make, and then we're going to see some paint rubbed.
Yeah, pay window's starting to open here. PB Henry still putting on a good fight in 4th position. Good clean race out of the 25 machine tonight. Certainly much needed. Nobody wants to come here to Martinsville and tear up a bunch of stuff. PB Henry's done a great job keeping that thing in one piece. Haven't seen him throw a tire wrong way yet. A little bit further behind him, Joseph Causey working on a 6th place position right now, trying to get to the 5th spot. See him lurking in the shadows behind Luke Christian.
Yeah, those two have been around each other a lot, pretty much since the drop of the green, because both of those cars started deep in the pack. Cars starting on the grid, and both of them had pretty much, you know, navigated their way through traffic together, you know, front to back, and here they are again at this point in the race, running nose to tail for 5th and 6th.
Levine up to almost a 4/10 of a second advantage over 2nd place Reese Schaefer. Sabilo looking 7/10 behind him in the shadows. So we'll have a battle shaking up here soon, though. Christian's getting to the back bumper of PB Henry. PB Henry's doing a much better job, though, this run of keeping a nice, tidy line there on the bottom. I think it's really going to benefit him as we shake this thing out a little bit. He was kind of running the old Darlington line there, starting this thing out. Doing a better job tucking it down low. Always good, good behind the wheel if you're able to adapt on the fly to what the car needs.
And PB had some good practice early on when he was following our former leader, Seminario. When he was dominating the race the first stage, he was able to follow him and learn his line, and that's helped him out a little bit, I imagine. He's got a good car, obviously. He's been top 5 all night. Not quite where he was at the start when he was running front row, but, you know, just hanging in there. Kind of tidying things back up, getting things back in the right direction as he continues to work his way back up to where he was earlier.
Yeah, like this place, honestly, the only thing that Martinsville really reminds me of is like a Sonoma or a Watkins Glen, right? So, like, hear me out. You can show up here and feel like you're bad fast. Then next thing you know, everybody in the field's got you outclassed, and you end up in a no man's land situation where you're just sitting around 4th place. Not a thing happens. You don't pass a car. Nobody passes you. That's where it is all night. You see Causey getting to the back bumper now of the 21 machine of Christian. A little bit of a push on the right rear quarter panel. And here he comes with a deep dive down to the bottom in turn number 3, up to the quarter panel again. Light touch, but not enough to really squirrel him out of the way. Christian gets up into the fence on the front straightaway here, and here comes Causey diving it back into turn number 1 on the bottom. Another corner like that, I think Causey's going to have him clear if he doesn't get him cleared on the back straightaway here. Yes, he does. Slide Causey up. Another spot here. Move him up to P number 5.
And that's how he'll get him. Because Christian had the opportunity to beat him on the outside with momentum, but, you know, just that wall tag, that's all Causey needed to complete the pass in a shorter amount of time, so that made his job easier to get up to 5th.
No, we got some frustration a little bit further
Caution on
in the
the
back.
track.
Sanchez and
Salter around the 28 car.
28 machine. And the 28 did not sound pleased. Well, with caution on the Speedway, everyone's sent to our sponsors here. We'll be right back to cover the action to the finish.
The rest, for anything on iRacing, there's just one name you need: Makoni.
With the launch of Makoni Entertainment and Makoni Competizone alongside Makoni Setup Shop, we now provide the best of the best in setups, paint schemes, coaching, broadcasting, and event organization.
With cars across all 4 license classes, we have what you need to hit the track with confidence. Grab a subscription and save money while going fast at McConeySetupShop.com/subscriptions.
And remember, at Marconi Setup Shop, there are setups, but your victories.
Welcome back, everybody, to the SSRL Master Series, brought to you by Chasity Tucker Realtor. Pace car making the deep descent down pit road here. Justin Levine and Reese Schaefer in charge of the field right now with Keegan Sabilo and PB Henry, third and fourth. 183 laps on the board into the Geico restart zone for what I hope is the final time. Good, clean launch from Justin Levine on the start, but Schaefer holding up strong on the outside line. Levine going to keep him bottled up there on the top, though. Down the back straightaway, side by side. Sabilo takes a look to the bottom, but thinks better of it.
They're wrecking in 3.
And huge wreck into turn number 3. No caution, though. Everybody keeps it straight. But Schaefer and Levine still side by side for the point. Schaefer gets it for a second, but Levine tags it right back into turn number 1. It's the best we've seen anybody fight on that outside line here at Martinsville tonight. There's Levine charging it deep into turn number 3 again. Gets a little bit of an advantage here this time over Schaefer. But Reese not giving up, sending it as deep as he possibly can into turn number 1. A dead heat still down the back straightaway. Schaefer looking like he's almost going to be able to get himself clear.
He's just getting closer and closer. The one had a bobble out of 4. He might have clipped the curve.
Schaefer.
That does it. To the
Schaefer,
point, the 97.
The short track ace himself, Reese Schaefer, with heavy damage to the right front of that thing from earlier contact, shows that the arrow doesn't mean a thing here at Martinsville as he takes the lead. Here's the incident that happened while we were covering the battle for the lead.
You keep an eye on Causey here.
Causey dives down to the bottom, gets into the back of the 00 machine, and up into Mitchell into turn number 3. I did that back in the Pinnacle days here. I made that same maneuver on Austin Edstrom and Zachary Latimer. Boy, did I get roasted for that. Of course, the problem for me was those were all teammates at the time.
It's ambitious. We're getting down to the closing laps. We're going to see some more daring moves as time continues to run out. Causey obviously had enough waiting around. He said it's time to go now. He made another pass on PB Henry, who drops back a few positions. Gets him up to 4th.
Reese Schaefer in control now, but Justin Levine following tight directly in his tire tracks. And we know Levine's got a good car. Here he comes. Gives him a little bit of a push through 1 and 2. Moves Schaefer up out of line. Schaefer still able to hold on to it. Bit of a problem out of the 67 machine of Mitchell, but back to the battle for the lead right now. Levine still all over the rear bumper. Into turn number 1, Levine locked up to the rear quarter pound of the 97 machine.
Just hounding his mirror, just making sure that's the only thing he's looking at right now.
I think Reese is going to be having nightmares about Mac Tools, but hold your breath, because here comes Joseph Causey. He wants to get into the mix of this thing. He's going to dive down to the inside of Levine. Now Levine's stuck up on the outside line. Is he going to be able to try and use that outside line advantage to try and get by Schaefer? But I don't think he's going to be able to. Here comes Causey sliding up the track. A little bit of contact between the two through 3 and 4. And we know Joseph's not afraid to be aggressive. We saw it a couple laps ago. Here he comes, diving down to the inside of Reese Schaefer into turn number 3. Gets the spot on Levine, now charging for the front position. Setting it deep into turn 1. All over the back bumper. Gets a huge run out turn 2, but the caution comes out. It looks like Pro got turned around there. See what happened here. It's going to be wheel spin off of 4. Yep.
Just another car hitting the oil slick that's out of turn 4, apparently. About the third time we've seen that tonight.
I think Causey threw a banana peel out there for Levine, and the wrong guy hit it. And this is interesting. We got guys coming down pit road here. Causey voting to stay out, though. Your race leader, 3rd place. And just about everybody else going to work their way down the long, winding Martinsville pit road here. Kyle Westwood staying out. Jose Medina staying out as well. Drew Prohl, the man we just saw sideways out of turn number 4, he's staying out too. So the good news for Causey is he's got a 3-car buffer here. The bad news is it's Martinsville, and that advantage diminishes quicker than you can blink.
3 cars is not enough of a cushion here.
No, not at all. You need about 15. Just want to ensure those guys get caught in the next instant. You only have to think about fighting them.
Be interesting to see this front row. Both Causey and Westwood pitted on the same time to caution before this one, so they got about like 15 to 20 laps on their tires, which isn't a whole lot. Might be just enough to hang in there, but the guys that are on fresh tires are definitely going to have an advantage, so it'll be interesting to see just how much of an advantage that those guys back there have.
Keep your wits about you. Don't psych yourself out. You've got what you got. Don't overplay it. But from the point here, Joseph Causey now for the first time leading him into the restart zone. Flag is in the hand. The green flag is out. Causey with a really good launch here off the front row. Going to get nice little bit of separation between him and second place. Medina to the inside. A little bit of contact on the back straightaway. Medina gets shoved right up towards the wall. And oh, Medina hard into the fence into 3 and 4. The hell melon.
Oh, they're wrecking.
Oh, and around. Westwood gets turned off the bumper of Levine. Westwood gets the spin of death out of 4, gets up into Luke Christian, and takes Levine with him too. I want to know it. This looks like somebody actually threw down an oil slick down there through 3 and 4 that go by.
It really seems like it. But man, that's two of our top contenders getting involved in that incident with Levine and Luke Christian, the 21 car, getting collected. Which not how they planned that restart for happening, but again, not a whole lot of damage though. Doesn't mean anything here at Martinsville. As long as there aren't any like serious wheel damage, they can just stay on the track and keep going. Because luckily for them, they pitted under the previous caution, so their tires are still pretty fresh.
Hey, Levine, if you're listening in there on a second monitor, bring it down pit road. It's killed.
If we can, I'd like to get another look at that, because there were a couple of cars that got really close to getting collected in it, mainly the 77 and 76. Keegan Sabilo and the 76 car, Pat Harvey, had really close calls.
I say, good drive for Sabilo to keep that thing in one piece there, because just about everything decided I didn't want to die in front of him. It sounds like Causy's diagnosing the damage right now to the competitors, telling everybody their cars are destroyed. So, always good sportsman conduct out of that 88 machine. We'd love to see it. As it sits right now, Joseph Causey still in charge of this thing. Luke Christian does outside. Sabilo, though, up to third place position. In line right behind that 88 machine. That's going to be a handful for Joseph Causey as the pace car dives down pit road. The DeWalt Tools Toyota Camry leads him through 3 and 4. Up into the restart zone again. Flags in hand, and the green flag is dropped. Causey gets a good restart. Gets clear. Luke Christian's able to get down to the bottom and get clear as well. Here comes Levine, fighting on the outside, though, trying to get by Sabilo. I know Sabilo with a wobble down the back straightaway is going to open a huge advantage for Levine coming in at turn number 3.
Yeah, not with Sabilo. Not what he needs. I've noticed about every single restart that 77's had the hardest time getting through the gears on these restarts. And that was another example of that, is he's in danger of losing the third spot to that one car.
Oh, danger no more. He gets a good run out of turn number 2, and he's going to clear Justin Levine down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Somebody going for a pass here. The 00 machine dives to the inside of Drew Paul. And Shake going to get the spot coming down the back stretch. Drew Prohl losing a handful of spots here. Here comes Westwood. Last time we saw him, he was spun out backwards against the fence.
Oh, the 77's around!
Sabilo, hard, back into the fence.
And I can tell you where that all started. Luke Christian hit the slick strip out of turn 4, lit up his tires, and tried to get tucked back in on the inside line and just misjudges, and there you go.
Just slid right up in the track into him. That looked very 2017.
Right there, that's just been the trouble spot all race long for a
Christian
lot of our competitors. And then
Christian came with the radio and said that it was netcode, and we saw the contact there, not necessarily a netcode thing. What happened in that situation, I've been there, you've been there, you get loose out of a corner and you're trying to fight the thing. Then you charge down into the next corner, not even a tenth of a second later, and you think that you're one place, but realistically speaking, you're not exactly where you think you are, because you've had your bearings kind of thrown off by just about clobbering yourself coming down the straightaway.
Yeah, I mean, when he was completely compromised the moment he lit up the rear tires out of 4, because he was in a more than uncomfortable position to try to get back into an ideal position to get back into the corner. But unfortunately for him, he just had a really shallow entry because there's just no time to gather yourself back up after something like that because this track is so small and stuff happens so quickly that, you know, it's very difficult to get back into a rhythm, especially like immediately after that happens, after having an almost disastrous event happen out of 4, and you're trying to get back going, and then what we saw happened, and that's the unfortunate thing about this place.
And the human brain can only process so information but so fast, especially after a race where it's just kind of either been a lull in the action from the caution, or you know, you just kind of rock yourself to sleep here with the rhythm of working these short tracks. That's going to change things up a little bit here. Levine's back in with a fighting shot here, starting on the inside row now, 3rd place. No pressure from Sabilo. You see Reese Schaefer back up there, though, in 4th on the outside. Now, we've seen how good that 97 machine can work that top line. Really be a thorn in somebody's side here. No. And a drive-through penalty for the 21 of Luke Christian. So that's really going to shake up the front row here. Green flag is out. Causey. Good advantage here coming into turn number 1. Here comes Justin Levine with a charge to the bottom. He's going to get clear of Christian. Christian going to dive down to try and serve his drive-through penalty. Don't get a speeding while you're at it. That's the last thing Causey wanted to see was Justin Levine right back to his back bumper here on this restart while on older tires.
And thankfully, he had an opening to do it. He had to do it from the outside.
Yeah, really fortunate break for that machine there. As you see, Levine up to the back bumper now. Joseph Causey. Causey a little bit higher. Oh, and Levine with a shot through the center. Deep dive into turn number 3. Levine still following the tire tracks of the 87 DeWalt machine of Causey. Causey's doing a much better job holding on to it right now than I was expecting.
Basically, what we're seeing right now is the advantage of having a rabbit to chase, because that one car is able to analyze where that 88 is vulnerable. And if you notice, his car is looking a little more planted through these corners. The 88 kind of skating through those corners. He's kind of sliding up off the bottom. And it's almost putting him in a pretty bad spot. And that's, if he keeps that up, the one car is going to have an opportunity to capitalize. So that 88 kind of needs to gather it back up as he
Levine
is doing that right now.
Out of turn number 4. Look like
Don't you love when you say something, the opposite happens?
Yeah, I do it all the time. Welcome to broadcasting, brother.
Been my whole night.
We have counseling on Tuesdays. Yeah, no, actually it was prior to the broadcast, Darby. So I'm still like getting to the booth. Levine not able to maximize though. Causey starting to slip away. 0.5 of a second advantage. The one strength that I've noticed out of that one machine all night is he does such a good job, better than just about anybody in the field, at just being able to maintain that center speed. It's a great job getting it right down there underneath the gray, underneath, you know, where the tires have been set in. And just getting that fresh, clean concrete to kind of pull that left side of the car around the corner.
And you know, if hopefully this run plays out to the checkered flag, we can see the one car's long run speed come to life, as we saw earlier in the race when we had our long green flag run. The one car was stronger at that point in the run. Now, we haven't really seen much of what that 88 of Causey.
Oh, the 00 way up the track. Van Schaik, not a good corner for him. So he gets past 77 of Keegan Sabilo. Sabilo on a mission right now.
Yeah, he is.
After that earlier incident.
Back to my point earlier about long run speed, the one car of Justin Levine, we've seen early in the race, has that speed. The 88, we haven't really seen him in this position in a long run yet because he's been spending most of the race trying to get up here in the first place. So this will be a chance to see, can the 88 maximize in these closing laps where we know the one car is at its strongest.
Well, he's going to want to get up on that wheel quick because we got 25 laps to go at the stripe here, and 25 laps under green at Martinsville fly by quicker than anywhere. Levine to the back bumper at turn number 2. Causey still holding strong on the backstretch, though, holding on to that point at the front. Levine, just such a good job with the rotation through 3 and 4, but bobbles up a little bit, trying not to get into the back of his teammate here. On the backstretch again, Causey holding the advantage into turn 3. A little bit wider on the track. Here comes Levine to the rear bumper again, though, with a little bit of a shot out of turn number 4. Here comes another push through center. Levine is there. And I don't think Causey's going to be able to shake him again. Huge shot again through 3 and 4. Levine just about has the tires lifted up coming out of the final corner. But the caution is out again. Oh, here comes Causey diving down for 4 freshies. And we do believe that the incident limit was met, so the caution flag came out. And, surprised it took this long to get there because it's been a lot of chaos through the field tonight. Justin Levine inheriting the lead, though, as Causey's on pit road. I don't know if I would have pit there myself, but there's a reason I'm up here in the booth with you, isn't there, Curtis?
Yeah, but, you know, I want to counter, because I think these guys deserve some credit, because we've seen a handful of long green flag runs that have played out pretty well so far. Like, this hasn't been the total caution fest that you would normally come to expect here at Martinsville. I mean, I've seen you guys here on Grid Vision cover NIS races that have gone way worse than this, so...
Oh, yeah. No,
I think these guys deserve a pat on the back tonight.
These guys absolutely have done a great job. You know, the front half of the race is really rough all the way through stage 1. But once we got crossed that stage 1 threshold, and, you know, a couple of the guys are really having difficulties today, saw their way out. These guys have done a great job reining it back in and putting together a great racing product like they do week in and week out. Martinsville is a tricky track. You know, we come here and we expect cautions. It's not because of the drivers. It's because of just what we're trying to convey here at Martinsville. It's so difficult through the walls of sim racing, and it's not even an iRacing problem. You go anywhere running paperclip tracks like this on any service, you're going to have a fair share of outrageous incidents. And iRacing, unfortunately, with you know, the necessity of having live cautions for every incident, gets the worst end of it, because it's not like, you know, with NASCAR Heat, where if somebody wrecks, you get like 30 seconds where everybody's slow, then boom, you're right back at it.
Yeah, and to touch up on a point we made earlier about, you know, also netcode and prediction code playing a factor, that just means the margin of error is even smaller than what the real guys have to deal with at this place.
Yeah, so huge pat on the back, but green flag and a huge start for Justin Levine. Schaefer getting stuck on the outside with PB Henry to the bottom. Henry slides up the track, almost catches the door of the 97 machine out of turn number 2. They're still fighting side by side into turn number 3. And here comes Henry with the advantage, going to muscle him out of the way through 3 and 4. Not able to get clear, though. Reese Schaefer holding on strong on that outside line like we see him do so many times today. But I think the advantage is going to the 25 machine as we come into turn number 3. I think he's going to be able to clear this time. Yes, he does.
Slide up, there you go.
Back to the second place position, where he started this thing off and ran so much of the night. And Levine, the biggest PB Henry fan of the field. That battle between him and Schaefer pulled Levine out to 7/10 of a second advantage. So laps wind down here. 15 laps to go for Martinsville.
And they got the 88 Joseph Causey on a mission after pitting under this previous
All the way back
yellow.
up to 4th. Yeah, give us an onboard, give us the rooftop of that machine as he dives down to the inside of Reese Schaefer for 3rd position. Joseph Causey's back into the hunt here. Just a stone's throw.
And he's doing basically what he's been doing all race long, better than everybody else, and that's navigating through the traffic. And with the tire advantage that he has now, it just makes his job easier.
But he's got to make every move as quick and concise as possible. He's got to be surgical here, getting by PB Henry.
We saw PB lock up the brakes through 1 and 2.
So we're coming to 12 laps to go here. Causey's got to be on it because Levine is not going to be an easy pass. Here comes Causey diving to the inside of the 25 machine, not able to get to the quarter. PB Henry's going to pull a block on him. Causey dives it back down to the bottom here out of turn number 2, though. Not able to get it. Going to try a little bit higher to try and build that momentum. This is the last thing Causey needs, but this is everything Levine wants.
Henry had a wiggle out of 4. That might be.
And that opens the door. Here comes Causey.
Wasting no time. Get out of my way. I'm going to 2nd.
Good, clean pass from Causey as he dives it down at turn number 3. Sights on the one machine in front of him now. The one car of Justin Levine. 10 laps to go at Martinsville. Joseph Causey working up to the back bumper now of Justin Levine. 9 laps to go. Just a 10th separating these two. And Causey just doing a really good job working himself up the hill, using every possible line he can to build momentum to draw him closer to the back bumper. He's going to do it again here through 3 and 4. And it's really paying. Oh, no, Causey gets the curbs. Oh, and that just about seals it up. Oh, huge loss for Joseph Causey. Just such an easy mistake to make. And that's going to take him out of contention for the win for sure. It's right up there, and he just gets such good rotation on the top. Just barely clips the curbing there on the apron, and it just sends him straight around. Great job to keep the thing straight, though.
It was very heads-up driving. He realized the situation immediately, didn't get too emotional in the moment. Locked it down, kept it off the wall, kept it straight, and you know what? He's still on track to get a top 5 finish.
Yep, sitting there in the 5th place position, barring another huge mistake. I don't see any way that he could lose that as he gets into the back
he gets
bumper,
into the
though.
bumper.
Oh, there it is. And here comes Sabilo to the bottom. Sabilo
Bumper
fighting
to
the inside of
Harvey.
Joseph Causey.
He was able to hang on to it. Luckily, that wasn't anything serious.
He's going to give another shot to Harvey. Such a rough break.
And it was going to get really exciting too, because that was going to be a
yeah.
battle for the win in the closing laps. But that pretty much seals it for Levine, unless we get something really crazy happen. But
No,
side
it's likely.
note,
Oh,
though,
we got one into the wall. Back straightaway, the 75 machine, Harvey. Hard hit. No caution, though. Still green. 4 laps to go. Looks like Westwood got some damage there, too.
Side note, it's looking to be a good comeback for Keegan Sabilo, the 77 car we saw back it into the fence in 1 and 2. He's back into the top 5.
But to the start-finish line, 2 laps on the board for Justin Levine. Didn't talk about him too much to start this thing off, but really made his presence known as we've gotten into the later stages. Great run for that Mac Tools Toyota. Into 3 and 4. Look at the brake rotors glow, man. White flag in the air. Justin Levine. Showing long run pace and domination here in the late stages of this race. A little bit of damage getting in a couple incidents, but attrition aside, into turn number 3 for the final time. Nobody else has anything for him here. Out of turn number 4, Justin Levine is going to win after grueling 250 laps at Martinsville. Way to go, boss man. Burn it down. PB Henry bringing it home second. A very hard-fought race for him in that 25 machine. Oh, is he going to go for the drift? Quite a little bit of a victory lap here. There we go. Huge smoke show for Justin Levine in the SSRL Master Series presented by Chasity Realtor. But let's look at the unofficial results here real quick. Bringing it home on top of the board is going to be Justin Levine, followed by PB Henry in second. Reese Schaefer after a hard-fought third place. Joseph Causey working his way back up to fourth after that incident with a handful of laps ago. Deacon Sabila going to bring home P5, followed by Kaylin Mitchell, Charles Van Schaik, Pat Harvey, Kyle Westwood, and Kyle Gerlach going to round out the top 10.
And then 11th, you got Drew Prohl in the 08. Jose Medina in the 48 finishes 12th. Lou Christian with a strong run falls flat. He'll finish 13th, one lap down. Then Kevin Zosiak, the 15th, finishes in 14th. 15th goes to Mark Sanchez, the 29. Evan Ethel, 19 laps behind, gets 16th. 17th, David Salter. Chris Hudson, 18th. Johan Seminario, who led a good chunk of the first half of the race, out early, finishes 19th, and then rounding out the top 20, Dakota Jurgensen in the 8th.
Bringing it home 21st is going to be Sammy Harrell, followed by Wayne Bowen in 22nd. 23rd, going to be Jordan Sailors, and rounding out the 24-car field tonight is going to be Colby Jackson. Well, man, what a race. Started out chaotic, ended up with a great show to finish this thing off. Oh, sit up here. Definitely got to do our driver interviews here. Just got to find everybody. Oh, my Lord. Well, I'm going to hand it over to Curtis White with Reese Schaefer, our third place finisher on the evening. We can get Reese up here. Where is he at? There we go. Take it away, Curtis.
All right, now we got our third place finisher in the booth with us. Reese Schaefer, do you got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got a copy.
All right, man. Well, podium finish for a typical Martinsville race. Is that about how you expected that race to go, or how are you feeling tonight?
Yeah, it was. I just knew the only way to finish around here is just by surviving. So I stayed up front, qualified up front. Well, I qualified 9th, and I got up quick, and then I was like, all right, I'm just not gonna leave it. And then we pitted up to around lap 80 to get some stage points coming back through. I don't remember where I finished. I think it was like 5th or something. We got a couple more stage points than what we would have. And then at the end there, yeah, when Johan got spun, I got damage on the right side, so I got a minute on my front right, and the car was. It actually helped the car because it made it a little tighter, but I was still just lacking a little bit aerodynamically. I just didn't feel I had great runoff, even though the car was better mid-corner because of it. So it helped and hindered me. I was able to capture the lead for a little bit later in the race, and that was really fun. Clean here though was also not really great for the car, and Justin was able to get me back. I just could not rotate through the middle of the corner once I got out front, so the damage didn't help anything. But yeah, we'll it was looking like P4, and then Causey had said they had a half spin there, and it was fortunate for us. We were able to get P3, and yeah, I usually love Martinsville, so I was really happy with the performance. And if I didn't have the damage, maybe been a little closer, but we'll take P3 all day.
Yeah, it seemed like you were able to manage the damage with your car pretty well, because it looked pretty beat up on the right front, and like you said, you mentioned that it tightened the car up. Was looseness this much of a concern in this race? Because we saw a lot of cars self-spin out of turn 4. It seemed like that was a common cause for a lot of these crashes tonight.
Yeah, I would say compared to turn 2, turn 4, it's just it's kind of wider and flatter, and it kind of opens up a little bit, and it really, if you're not careful, you'll really start half spinning. It's kind of especially on the very bottom, there's like these little small bumps, and this car or anything that's bumpy does not like. So yeah, it was I felt, I knew loose coming out of the corners was there. I just tried to manage it the best I could throughout the night. And like I said, I thought drive off wise I was pretty stable, but there was a couple instances where I was definitely could feel the back end trying to slide out on me. So yeah, it was definitely a tricky race. It's always, even though it looks like a paperclip, it's very, both sides of the track are very, very different. You gotta do things a little bit differently on both ends of the track, and so yeah, it was a really fun race, and happy with P3.
Absolutely. And you want to shout out anyone before we let you go?
Yeah, of course. I'd like to thank on the car Mid-Michigan Milk Produce Association. They've always been running with us. Love running around with them. I'd like to thank my dad. He loves the wives. My grandpa, my girlfriend Emily. There's a lot of people that love supporting me. My entire family, just they love what I do and love watching me, and I'm so blessed to be able to do it with them. I'd like to thank the One-Some guys. Always good fun hanging out with them, and I'd like to thank you guys for putting on a good show broadcast wise. And I can't wait to look back at it and see how everything was. And yeah, hopefully we'll talk to you guys next week.
Absolutely, and we appreciate you guys. We appreciate you guys putting on the show for us. So, congrats on the run tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good night.
There we go. For some reason the mic didn't want to work for me. That was Reese Schaefer, third place finisher this evening. Curtis, I realized I made a massive boo-boo. I'm not used to leading, and I definitely want to harass Justin Levine. So if you would either like to take PB, or I can take him and then take Levine as well.
I can take PB. I gotta head out here in a minute, so works out
Absolutely.
for me. As we drag in PB Henry, our second place finisher, into the booth. PB, you got a copy?
I certainly do.
All right, I'm gonna ask the about similar question I asked Reese Schaefer earlier. That about is what you would expect out of a Martinsville race. How would you assess how your race went?
Yeah, I would say we got some longer runs in there better than I thought we would initially. Like once we got into a run, we really set in. It was just felt like it took us a while to get started, and that's probably just any Martinsville on the sim. That's just straight up. And once you get some rhythm going, finally everybody kind of understands how everybody else is breaking, and you're still going to have some guys in there just wilding out, sending it, from 4 rows deep into the corner. So, it is what it is.
I mean, at the end of the day, you still get to be up here and talk to us for second place, so a good result for you. Started off the race strong, kind of fell back a little bit. You were still around the top 5 though, pretty much the whole race. So just walk me through how you were able to get back up to where you were. Was there anything that was kind of going through your mind throughout that last stage?
I felt like I had a really, really good car for this week. I knew probably long run pace I was a little far off from like the one sim guys. But I feel like as far as if we get a 50 lap run, I felt like I would do okay. And then the weather kept changing dramatically. I know early on in that weather, my car was pretty stable. It turned in well, and even throughout the whole kind of that first probably 60 laps, even though we had a bunch of caution laps, I felt like I had something for Johan until I made one little slip on the right rear tire and spun it. And after that, it kind of I fell back, and then when Joseph Causey got into me, I was on for the ride going backwards.
Well, at the end of the day, though, you still got, second, really good points day for you, able to come back from that. Anyone we want to shout out before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to my fiance for always being there, and shout out to the Henry boys. We do a good job testing and getting some data in and for the sets and every week, and so I gotta thank them, and thank you guys for putting on the show for us, and hopefully we eventually will put on a better show next week when we're at a track that's a little bit less of a demo derby.
I hear that, man. It's just Martinsville for you. Appreciate you coming up here and talking to us, and best of luck to you next week.
Thank you.
Curtis, thanks for having your part of the bargain tonight. It's been great having you in the booth. Gonna sit down here real quick though and hang out with the boss man himself, Justin Levine. Man, first off, dude, long time no speak. How's it going, brother?
What's going on, gentlemen?
Oh man, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. So, you spent the first half of this thing quiet as a damn church mouse, and I'll tell you what, you turned the wick up. Once we crossed that first stage, it was like watching a different man out there behind the wheel. Talk us through it. What'd you need?
Lap time. Really had just the SOF going into this race, and that was an absolute wreck fest. So I don't think we had any green flag runs. Maybe 5 to 7 laps total, and that you're not getting into a rhythm with that. And I wanted to make sure I just avoided it to not get pissed off going into this race. So really, the first stage was just a learning curve. Make sure that I can get into a rhythm, hit my points. Reese and I decided to gamble in that first stage and take a set of tires, which almost burnt me here in the end because I was out. But once I figured out how to just stay consistent and constantly roll center using that brake and hit my marks every single lap, I started taking off lap times, catching everyone and anyone. Once I got out front, it was in a different car. Ended up getting a little damage from aisle there. Don't know how bad it was because I never pitted. And I know it popped up saying I had nose and rear end damage, and it made the car super tight. I was a little worried there watching Ozzy there. Ozzy was flying. I knew if he got there, it was over. And unfortunately, he got loose out of the corner. It was fortunate for me, and we went on to win the race.
So, how do you get around this place and not be terrible? Because I've been trying to figure that one out for about 10 years or so, probably even longer than that.
Really, it's the setup, man. You gotta back up your corner entry so that you could just roll center, and you're sitting on that throttle, you're waiting. I'm dragging brake from probably that little black NASCAR Coca-Cola sign on both, like right at the end of it, going at both corners. Drag the brake all the way to center, and then just nice and smooth off throttle, and just repetitive, just trying not to kick out the right rear. And if you got on the throttle too early, you just drag the right front, and then it doesn't turn.
Well, heck yeah. Also, oh crud, I had it there for a second. I lost it, man. Martinsville will do that to you, huh? No, just tell me how bad were you sweating? You look back in the you look back in the mirror with about 15 laps to go, and you just see bright DeWalt yellow. And Joseph Causey's going to throw a stone at you if he can possibly get to you. And he's on 4 freshies and flying.
Oh,
how torn up did you get behind the wheel?
I was going down fighting. If he got to my inside, I was going to pinch him as much as I could, and I was going to give him one last shot and chip him. Not wreck him, just try to send him up the track enough to at least hip check him coming out of the corner so that maybe it rough him up a little bit, but I didn't have to. But man, not even just him running me down, just the entire race. When you actually get a green flag run here, you are sweating, you're on it, you're downshifting, clutch, you wheel hop it, all of a sudden you're turning right off the corner. You really have to be on top of your game, but I am drenched and I can't wait to take a shower.
Absolutely, man. Well, I don't want to get in, between you and your shower plans this evening. Want to say thanks for coming up here in the booth. Anybody you want to thank a shout out for this incredible performance you've gotten here at Martinsville?
Of course, shout out to Grid Vision. Love going back, watching the broadcast, best in the biz. Dave and all the admins who put this on. Of course, Mac Tools for being on board. It's awesome to get in victory lane. Hopefully made them proud tonight. And of course, Reichel Performance, the car drove itself. I just had to make sure that I didn't burn it up, and we ended up in victory lane.
Well, go get your personal stone cold beer toss in there. And thanks for coming here in the booth and put on a good performance for us tonight and a good show, and giving us something worth watching this evening.
Awesome. Have a good night.
You too, Justin. Take care. Curtis, any final thoughts here, my man?
Yeah, you talked about sweat earlier. I had to go leave and turn on the AC for the booth I'm working in right now, and it never kicked on, so I'm probably going to do the same thing. But honestly, as far as learning anything after this race, I mean, it's Martinsville. Martinsville never changes. That's what we learned tonight.
Yeah, it was a difficult start here for the SSRL Master Series presented by Chasity Tucker Realtor. But these guys, man, after we reached that halfway point, these guys really flicked it up and did a great job putting on a great performance to bring home. Congratulations to Justin Levine, our winner, and all of our top 3 finishers. And huge thank you for the viewers at home for sitting here and watching this with us and listening to us talk, even though half the time it doesn't sound like we know what we're talking about to begin with. It's been a pleasure sitting up here in the booth with you, Curtis, and Austin Derbyshire in the truck. Huge thank you to Andrew Cardinal for the excellent cameras here. And I think on that note, we're out, ain't we, Darby?